Alright guys, what's going on? We've got the 9th war of Season 22 here, and today 4 Loki's going to be facing NewN again. So, we've already faced these guys once this season. NewN, there's a few alliances that ideally you don't want to match twice during an Alliance War season. And it's NewN, ASR, Kenobi. I'm sure that I'm missing a couple, but these guys are very, very, very strong. We tied them last time that we faced them, and this time they placed their defense with the Protect Global. So basically any like large or extra large champions, if you hit them too hard, they get a stack of protection. And if you're a large or an extra large champion, you can knock them down to get rid of it. But if you're not a large or an extra large champion, you have to intercept them to get rid of it. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at their defense here. I don't really have much to say about how their placement is since it was placed with Protect. They had a couple of really strong placements that there aren't a ton of good counters for. But I'm not really sure how like all of the champions interact with the nodes, so yeah, just gonna go ahead and show you guys. My battle group did end up dying a few times to this global. We died more than the other battle groups that had stubborn, and it's because of just a few specific fights, like a few specific like champion interactions with certain nodes with the global. Made it very, very difficult. So I could see this being like maybe at some point as people get more used to stubborn, this becoming the new meta, the meta defense tactic. But either way, we're going to bring in Omega Red, Deadpool, and Mr. Fantastic. And Mr. Fantastic is just to place pre-fight debuffs on the boss. So we're going to be starting off on path 8 here. I'm checking the node. This is just buff and balance, power drain, return policy, and heal block. So this is basically like a diversity placement. Aegon is not large or extra large, so this has nothing to do with the global at all. But Omega Red is. So for any of my fights that are affected by the global, all I have to do is knock the defender down to get rid of the protection. So we're just gonna go in here. I'm gonna just hit him as little as possible, back off, do a heavy, try to keep my spores up a little bit. You can see now he's got a special 2, so I'm just gonna parry, lock in my spores again, and eventually this will end up killing him. So he throws the special 2. You can see how many of those power drain debuffs. So basically you're just never going to gain a bar of power on that node if Aegon is placed there. Alright, so now we are going to move up to our next fight here. And our next fight is going to be a Korg. This is not the normal place that we see him. Usually we see him on Mixmaster. So just to be extra safe, I did go ahead and take off Dexterity for this fight because it has power snacks. So anytime that you activate a buff, he's going to gain power. And it also has backup recovery. So my goal here is to just hit him as few times as possible. I'm going to block in the beginning to try to build up some spores, so hopefully I can parry him. And you can see that it really helps being able to do like a couple of light hits. So we've got our 12 spores up. We can parry freely now without him shrugging off any of our debuffs. I'm going to end with light attacks here. Just to give him a little bit less power and to stay closer to him. Alright, so he threw the special 2. I'm being really mindful of the backup recovery. I am going to save to a special 3 in case I need to power drain him. And here I'm just going to keep backing up. Lock in my spores with a heavy attack. Alright, he threw the special 2, which is pretty nice. And now we're just waiting him out. And we'll go ahead and finish with a special 3. And if this doesn't kill him, then we'll be able to get a little bit of healing from it. So that fight went really, really well. I could definitely see it being tricky. but with this particular global, I don't think it's a big deal. Korg, pretty much anywhere that you put him is just going to get obliterated by Omega Red. So now we're going to move up to our next fight here. This is going to be a rank 2 6-star Abomination on EMP modification and Burden of Might. So I'm just checking the SIG level here, 660. It doesn't really matter. I was just curious to see how many times this person pulled 6-star Abomination. And we're going to go ahead and go in. I still have Dexterity off for this fight just to be extra safe. Again, after last war, I don't want to deal with any weird like mishaps or anything. And the shock damage from EMP modification is really, really strong. So I do not want to like accidentally trigger Dexterity and then have him throw a special. And you can see we're just staying close to him. We do have 30 spores up on him. Gonna lock in our spores with a heavy attack. And that's it. Super easy, straightforward. Omega Red, if this tactic does become the meta tactic, I think will just be really good for it. So here we were originally supposed to go to path 2, but we ended up getting switched to at the last minute to path 1, which really, really made me nervous because there's a long shot on Buffet, a rank 3 6-star long shot. But this first fight here is just going to be a Morning Star on Vigor. So it is a rank 3. I know that since it's New Nation that they probably placed with 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion, so I need to be really careful about using Dexterity. So in the beginning, you just want to stay close and hit kind of slowly. I know that I can really work on slowing my combos down more. It's definitely something I could get better about. I'm going to go ahead and lock in my spores here. And you can see that we're doing so much damage that we're pretty much never going to have to worry about Vigor. So you can see here I'm triggering Dexterity, and this person's getting quite a bit of power back. I don't think it's 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion, but it is quite a bit. Okay, now we're going to move up to this long shot. I took off Dexterity for this fight, and in duels I kept accidentally trying to Dexterity the special 1. I need to not push him to his special 2, which is the main reason, Mystic Dispersion is the main reason that I took off Dexterity for this fight. So I'm just going to try to give him as little power as possible. Just hit him like once or twice, stay close, parry. I really do not want to push him to his special 2. So, alright. Same plan. 2 hits. Lock in spores. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. So, super easy. Should not have been worried about it at all. And now we are going to move up and take our last fight of the war. This was a really easy war for me this time, which is good. I think I needed it. And this is going to be Hurt Locker, Enhanced Special 1, and Power Focus 1. So I can't throw the same special attack twice. And this was during the final push for the war here, so I'm just going to go in. I'm going to hit Thor as few times as possible. I tested this out in a duel too to see how many hits, basically just to make sure that I could get to my special 2 in 20 hits with Omega and see like how much parrying and stuff I had to do. And you're going to see that I actually end up cutting it kind of close. I wasn't parrying as many times in this fight as I was in the duels. So here, got my 20 hits, got to my special 2, which is 7 hits. But as you can see, he's like almost dead, so it really doesn't matter. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. And that was my last fight for the war, but I do have one more contribution to make. Definitely felt nice to finish that without dying. And here, I'm going to wait for Legacy to take out this fight. This is going to be a rank 3 Sorcerer Supreme. She's going to go down, and this is the most nerve-wracking part of the war. is placing these pre-fights for somebody else, because it's so easy to accidentally push fight. I didn't realize how scary it was until I went in to actually do it. Just making sure that you place the right debuffs for them. So you can see, like, I just immediately got out of the screen. And then Carl, our pre-fight guru, giving me the thumbs up, saying that I did a good job. Carl is very good at placing pre-fight abilities for people. He gave me a lot of pointers, but... Okay, so anyway, we did end up losing this war. I am showing the death count here because, as you can see, for Loki, we had a really good war. Last time we faced New Nation, we died 8 times, they died 8 times. This time we cut that down to 5 times, and they only died 2 times to our defense, which is just so good. So they had a really impressive war. 7 total deaths for both teams, all 60 players, is pretty crazy. This is kind of when you know that you're getting to the top of the top, and it's stuff like this that makes me wish that there was a top 5 instead of just a top 3 in the Masters bracket, because I don't think that many alliances can go 5 or less deaths against one of the best defenses in the game. So either way, I'm pretty sure that knocked us out of contention for the top 3 spot mathematically, unfortunately. But either way, it's been a really good season. We've got 3 wars left to go, so I will see you guys in the next one.